were tested. You were tested early. And
Very early.
this time you chose to not give in to the temptation, because that was a choice. You could have said, F it,
Easily.
get off the plan and ate the pasta dinner. But this time different. So I think there's something to take note there of. You will be tested, especially in those early days, when you're relying more on this rocket fuel of the willpower. Your systems haven't been fully established yet. So you have to exert more will and enthusiasm to start to build that momentum. So Lee, when was it that you feel like, okay, this thing's moving, like something's working? Because the initial phase, you don't know, right? You're running off hope, but like, I hope this in 1 week, I hope I've lost some weight. But when was it that you're like, okay, maybe there's something here, let's double down?
Yeah. So realistically, when I got to the end of the first week, so I took the habit of, like I said, I didn't weigh myself for years because I didn't want to know. Once I got into the program, you talk about weight. So I purchased a scale, digital scale, started weighing myself. Right now, I know there's pros and cons to weighing yourself every day, and we can talk about those. And I know you address them a lot. I personally weigh myself every day, but I've also learned to know that my body weight goes up and down, right? And I can actually feel and see the trends. I can guess my body weight on a day-to-day basis now, pretty much. Oh, I'm going to be up 3 pounds because of what I ate yesterday. I'm going to be down 4 because of what I didn't eat or whatever, right? So for me, the real defining moment initially was when I got to the end of the first week and I was like 3 pounds down. Right. And it was a trend 3 pounds down. It wasn't like I went 3 pounds down one day, but then I was back to my normal weight the next day. Right. I mean, I trended down and it was like, wow, I'm 3 to 4 pounds down in the first week. I'm like, and I feel good. I mean, I just physically began feeling way better inside. My joints weren't hurting as much anymore. I mean, now I know it was inflammation starting to, potentially get out of my system. I didn't feel as lethargic. I had a lot more energy because the morning protein shakes with the high spinach and, protein was driving my energy levels through the roof. So that for me is when I really started going, I think I'm onto something here. Right.
And how much did you exercise in that first week to achieve that change at day 7? Did you exercise at all? Did you get a workout?
I did. Absolutely. No, I started the Apex 10 and the hits, and the Big 5.
Nice.
I think I probably that first week though probably only did 2 maybe.
But guys, listen to that though. That's important to note because your week 1 plan is that nutrition is what drove those 4 pounds of early weight loss and helped you feel so much better. I mean, the exercise at that point, you're building the momentum, you're getting circulation moving, you're getting your body out of stasis and back into motion. So you exercise twice, which is key because you got to start that. But hey, you're sore when you start exercising. You haven't been moving for a while, right? So 2 times a week might be like all you can handle. But then you'll be surprised as your recovery capacity goes up. Then maybe you do 3 days a week. So Lee, you start losing weight, but you ultimately lost over 110 pounds. So in a pretty quick snapshot, what happens over the next, how do you turn 4 pounds, which a lot of people have lost 4 pounds, Lee, how do you turn that into 110?
Just kept the mindset, nailing the nutrition first, following the exercise second, right? I mean, for me, it was the big thing that I took from the program with the accountability. So I just stayed in the grind and just mentally stayed on top of it every day, getting up going, you got to nail this. And I actually I created my own hashtag, and my hashtag was hashtag less than 250 x 50, right? So I wanted to be less than 250 pounds by the time I turned 50. So I was giving myself a year to lose 50 pounds, right? Yeah. My original mission statement was to lose 15 in 30 days, right? I hit, I think, like 20 in the first 30 days. So again, now I'm hitting just big wins, right? So for me, I just continued the winning approach of, all right, I'm getting some victories here. Let's keep it going, right? So once I got into it, the non-scale victories then of course started coming as well, right? As we call them, which was my clothes were literally falling off of me. I mean, I was buying new clothes. It was horrible. I mean, you literally buy new clothes every 2 months, which is a great problem to have, right?
Good problems, yeah.
It's a great problems. I mean, great problems to have. But you just got to remember, you're going to be tested mentally. You're going to definitely be tested in the environment, your ecosystem around you on a daily basis. none of it has to be exactly perfect, but the key to focus on, especially early on, is that nutrition. And people would stop me at work and stuff and go, "Oh, you must be doing a lot of exercise to lose weight." And I'm like, "No, it's actually the opposite." And like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "At 300 pounds, I wasn't doing any exercising. I was
Right.
barely climbing a flight of stairs without
Yeah.
dying, literally."
Yeah.
Right. So I lost a ton of weight, no pun intended, literally to then start exercising. I didn't really start exercising until probably month 2.5. I mean, as far as what I would consider really physically hardcore exercising. I mean,
Yeah.
a hit for me early on for the first month and a half was a treadmill, because I did this in the wintertime, so in New England it's very cold, and I wasn't motivated yet enough to run outside or exercise outside in the cold.
Right.
But so I mean, literally was a treadmill, 1 minute at a 4,
Yeah.
a 4.5.
And that was perfect at the time. That
Perfect
was
at
what the
time.
body needed at the time. So
Yep.
you mentioned that before. Is at a certain point, I think the ego does hang a lot of guys up. There's no shame in this game.
Agreed.
You have to set that aside and start with exactly where you're at. Yep. And I think that's one of the cool things about, just like you said, our community, our brotherhood, is we understand this.